Get ready with me as I answer the questions that you're asking about craft beer. First off, what is craft beer? Craft beer is beer made by a craft brewery. That is literally the definition. These craft breweries are usually small and independent, and that gives them the flexibility to make cool, different beers than macro breweries like Coors. What does craft beer mean? Think of beer as a craft more than anything. These breweries don't have to make the same beer every single time. So it gives them the freedom to experiment, giving us some really cool beers. What's the difference between craft beer and draft beer? The quick answer is that craft beer can be draft beer, and this is how. Draft is a style of pouring. If you go to a bar, you might notice that your bartender is pouring from a tap. That's called a draft. It's considered better and more fresh because it hasn't gone through the canning or bottling process, meaning it hasn't been exposed to as much light as it would have in a bottle. What are some craft beer brands? Well, this is actually going to differ for you and me depending where you live. Craft beer is usually best local because they don't produce in large quantities. Some awesome local craft breweries to me are Something in the Water in Toronto and Kingston, Wellington Brewery in Guelph, Four Fathers in Kitchener, Ontario, and check out my profile to see more because I've been to quite a few all around the world. What is craft beer made of? There's two different ways to answer this question. If we're talking about the German beer purity law, Reinheitsgebot, then true beer is only made of water, barley malt, and hops, and yeast, added later when they found out what that was. They made it in 1516. Water makes up 90% of what beer is. The other 10% is malted grains, like barley, and these grains provide the sugars for the yeast to turn it into alcohol. Hops are a bittering agent. That means they provide aroma and flavor to the beer. Yeast is what ferments barley. Different strains of yeast can also provide different flavors. And even though those are the core ingredients, a bunch of different things can be added, and those are called adjuncts. These adjuncts can range from spices to fruits to, I've seen oysters. The possibilities are endless, depending who you're talking to. Why is craft beer so expensive? The way I want to answer this is, why are macro brews so cheap? Because a company is only focusing on one beer, they're able to buy the specialized ingredient and tools to help them brew that specific beer. Buying in bulk allows them to save a lot more in the long run. When you run a smaller shop with a bunch of different ingredients, costs are going to go higher because you just don't have the ability that those bigger breweries have. You're paying for quality, you're supporting local, and you're getting a great beer out of it. What is craft beer called? If you're confused about what beer counts as craft, you want to look out for these specific terms: microbrewery, artisanal beer, small batch, locally brewed, family owned, independent brewery, nano brewery, and that's all. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to answer in the next video. Cheers.